Dickinson County Hospital to discuss the morgue, autopsy room, and diagnostic testing agreement between the county and the healthcare system. Before we start, I want to thank Brian Oakley, our controller, and Mike Salello, your attorney, for drafting this tentative agreement. We put a lot of work in there today, and this is the policy we'll be discussing. Joe, as liaison person, you want to make a few comments before we move on? I'm sorry, Ollie, roll, please.
Dagner.
Here.
Kramer. Here. Burlock.
Here.
Stevens.
Here.
And Wendy.
President,
And can
we
I
have
just
a
call
call.
who's here from the hospital?
You
That I
want to call
have
your roll?
Edward. Campbell.
Present.
Bloom. Present. Henrik.
Present.
Dyson.
Here.
And Wender.
Here, present.
I got you. Okay.
Okay, well, Joe, you want to make a few comments?
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming. I'd imagine a meeting, maybe for hunting season, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so thank you for coming out. This shouldn't last more than 11, 12 hours, so we'll get you out of here by midnight every night. Bad joke. A few days ago, a couple of weeks ago, our board, when Margaret came and introduced Chuck, I mentioned that we're a little bit of a pickle with doing autopsies, and I'm just so pleased to see that the hospital board has come together and brought forth this proposal that we can get through the next couple of months with, as we continue to look forward to find a permanent spot. So, thank you for reaching out, and thank you for coming today, and I look forward to getting this over with so we can move on until the end of the year. So,
Okay, any comments from other board members at this time?
Just a question, are we going to be going through this paragraph by paragraph?
I don't think.
Oh, I do have some suggestions, that's why I thought maybe we would do that.
Brian, you want to comment how you got to this point with Mike?
Well, from the county standpoint, he is our physician. We have a place for him to perform his duties. So I contacted, talked to Chuck a little bit, I contacted Mike Salello, and we said, well, is there some type of stopgap agreement that we can do until we do find alternative places to do autopsies? So that got the ball rolling, and this is what we have before us today.
Thank you. Looking at the agenda, I forgot to ask citizen time. Any citizen want to address the board? At this time, you can make statements. We're not here for debate. Any citizen want to come forward? Any citizen? Saying none, we'll move on. Okay, open for discussion. You got comments from the hospital board side at this time, or where do we go?
Just that thank you very much for meeting with us. We've had a couple of smaller meetings and tried to hash this out over that time frame. I have to apologize. The 3 o'clock meeting today is my fault. I'm very shorthanded. Oh, shut up. Very shorthanded in my Florence office. In fact, there's nobody there this week. So I am kind of taking care of it all. So just sort of the perfect storm, it was called. So I do thank you all for being willing to meet with us on the eve of the holiday for the week. So I think that we understand that this could have been handled better, and it wasn't. So I'm hoping now that we have a short-term solution that we can put this behind us and move forward and go from there.
Okay, I'm sure our board has all read the agreement. Have you people all seen and reviewed the agreement?
Yes, we have.
Barb, you have some points?
Yeah, I just had a comment on, under the recitals, which is section, I guess it's the introduction, number 3, it should say, in the last sentence, the last full line, it should say, and or suspected foul play of, and I would say instead of a DOA, a decedent, because if the person has trauma and dies at the hospital, he or she's not dead on arrival, they died at the hospital. But it still would be law enforcement's requested autopsy. It wouldn't be just an automatic. But I would suggest using the word decedent on that, in that paragraph. And then, can I just go right now? I only have a couple of things. And then under item 2, DCHS obligations, I would respectfully request under 2.1 that you provide an itemized bill for additional services, additional cleanup services. In other words, tell us what you had to do extra and how much it cost, so that we got an itemized bill for our records. And then in item 2.2, it would be ME is prohibited from providing his or her, not its, home data. And then the only other question I had for, maybe this is for discussion, is if there is a person who is not a resident of Dickinson County who dies in our county, say for instance he's from out of state, would that and the law enforcement officers request an autopsy, would that person be covered? It's not in the agreement anywhere. In fact, even if it doesn't even specify Dickinson County residents only, but if that person comes from out of state, say there's a terrible truck crash or something, and
But if it's not specifying Dickinson County residents only, then I don't think it's an issue.
It wouldn't be limited.
okay, because there was a discussion at some point where it would be only people from Dickinson County that would be served by the hospital. So it's up to you guys. I mean, I just brought that up.
Any comments from everyone else?
Go ahead.
I guess I have a few comments. I'm Dr. Chris Canelli, I'm the medical examiner. I read it through one time, but there was some verbiage in there. I think there's something about body can't stay in a morgue longer than 48 hours. 72 hours. I mean, speaking from experience, just like Ms. Kramer had brought up, I mean, if you have somebody from out of town, especially this time of year, snowmobile accident, hunting accident, whatever, they die. Sometimes it might take 2-3 days just to find out who their family doctor was, and you know, do we need to do an autopsy on this guy? I mean, barring a laundry list of medical problems, he or she may not need an autopsy. And sometimes that information doesn't necessarily come right away. It takes a little while to track down a family physician or something like that. So, yeah, 72 hours, yeah, maybe 128 might be better. Something along those lines. Make it. I mean, I don't know if. I guess what I'm trying to say is, do we need a? Does that? I mean, it's somewhat arbitrary. Do we even need it? I mean, I don't.
Or if it's going to exceed it, maybe you could request it through administration. Marty, leave it, but put a line in that if it looks like there's extenuating circumstance.
Talk to administration.
That's on the right.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's just.
The all school board would agree to add in.
That'd be fine.
Yes.
I would say, yes.
Okay, any other comments?
I have concerns over the time, the short time. I mean, we're at January 14th for this agreement. And we are the wheels of government, so we don't move real fast. It took us 6 months to get a sewer fixed. So I think there's not much that we can get done by January 14th. So I would hope that that timeline could be extended.
Isn't there a provision in here for
Extension, yeah. I would hope that we could be committed today to a longer time frame up front, because that time is awfully short to get anywhere, and then we're reliant on whether or not an extension would happen.
Well, we could go another 30 days, but we leave the option for an extension in there. I would think that would be simple enough to do that. I mean, how many days then is good, you know what I mean? So if that option is in there to have an extension, I would think that would work. And you would just need to call administration, talk to Chuck.
It's open-ended right now anyway.
It is.
It's not a firm date here at all. The sentence says this agreement may be extended beyond the initial term if the county has yet to secure an alternate ME autopsy facility. Provided, however, that the county agrees to continue to use reasonable diligent efforts to find an alternative facility. It's pretty open-ended.
Right, and-
There's nothing firm.
I recognize that you did allow that more openness to extend. I would just hope that we don't end up arguing on whether we've done our due diligence to find another location. 'Cause, I mean, we've been in this situation for how many weeks already, and we realistically don't have anything fixed yet on our end, so.
I would-
Well, very little. I mean, we got a couple of places, but we don't have long-term answers yet, so, you know, this is not a quick fix, so.
Well, I would like to see it longer too, but I think what's in here is fair. That's my opinion. I hate to disagree with you, but
Well,
I think it's fair for we have here.
And I guess I look at it as I think the board would agree that if something came up, Chuck would have the authority to extend that. You wouldn't have to wait at big board meetings and the whole bit to extend that, right?
It says that in there, signed by the DCHS CEO and the county's controller.
The controller, Brian, and Dr. Christinelli and Dolly have been working extremely hard to find another location. And actually, we're quite far along, I think. We've got a couple quite positive sites that I think we can utilize within this time frame. So, I think, Brian, Kevin, I think it is going a lot quicker. And I don't see any reason why within a short period of time, within 13 months, we can't have another location secured. And this, of course, is a little point, but I think with the work they've done in the last couple of months, 6 weeks, this place, that place, this place, that place, yes, no, yes, maybe, we're farther along than we think.
Yeah, excuse me, interrupt. I mean, one of the stumbling blocks has been cold storage. I mean, how many facilities got a built-in cooler, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And like I said, I think we might have found a solution to that. I mean, there are coolers available that are on wheels that hold 3 bodies, 6 bodies, and they can, you know, plug them into the wall and, you know, off you go. So, like I said, that is a major stumbling block. And like I said, that appears it might be. I mean, these things are priced, so I think they're, you know, I mean, I haven't talked to Brian, but you know, they seem like they're priced that it's probably something the county could afford and feasible.
I'm just gonna hypothetically, if Dr. Christinelli should move on and go somewhere else, and we get another medical examiner or someone else that who can do autopsies. If you look at the pay, and I'm gonna think about this as far as revenue for the hospital, if you look at the pay schedule, if he did all the autopsies, last year there were 25, and 17 or 25, and we probably might get up to 20 this year, but and this is hypothetical. If you did everything that's in your pay schedule, with 20 autopsies, and I know that's not going to happen, but if you did do that, the hospital would make about $109,000. My point on this is it's revenue for the hospital. So I would urge you to think about autopsies in the future. I know the pathology is going to go to Marquette. I understand that. But the autopsies, someone's going to have to do autopsies at some time. My whole point on this is if you're always looking for revenue, and there might be a chance for the hospital at some point to re-look at this issue and move forward.
Let's have some history. That revenue scale that is there was basically put together by Sue Hadley and myself. And it basically reflects what the industry will tolerate as far as what people are sort of willing to pay, you know, for an autopsy. It's less than what you would pay if you had to say, take that body and send it to Marquette. It reflects reasonable reimbursement. Could some of those things be increased? Yeah, okay. You could probably do away with a few things that are in there. Specifically like the $25 a day morgue fee, is that, you know, that's sort of, you know, that's basically something that's, you have to track, and it's not necessarily an easy thing to track. So maybe just a standard, $100, morgue fee, and then that'll cover 4 or 5, 6 days, whatever. Which is about sort of the limit, really. Like I said, it reflects what the industry would basically tolerate. And you're right, in a lot of those instances, I don't need x-ray. I don't need access to, a blood test, either blood alcohol or a urine drug screen. I don't need access to that. I don't always need to do histology on every autopsy. So, it will vary, and it does vary, but that's essentially how that arrived. I mean, that's how we arrived at those numbers.
My whole point is it's a revenue stream that you go to the hospital for.
Any comments on this side? Okay, Lisa has, whether you or Carl reviewed this.
We have. I did want to point out, the limitation that Commissioner Kramer was talking about was included in a separate document. It's not part of the proposed agreement, but it is included in another document that we received. And basically it limits the work performed for cases under the direct supervision of Dickinson County law enforcement agencies only. So to that extent, it did limit, you were correct. Now, I don't know, I didn't see that language repeated in the proposed agreement, so I'm not sure where we're at with that. As far as the proposed agreement goes, it addresses the problem in the short term, and I don't have any issues with the language.
Chuck, do you have anything to add?
I think the only thing is, I think I'm happy that we have found this solution to move this forward.
And I can speak to how does this affect the surrounding communities? Florence County, Menominee County, plus minus Delta County sometimes, and then there's even all the way out in, Ironwood, Asselin County, Wisconsin. I mean, I do autopsies for a lot of places. I mean, their nut is, if they got to if you're in Asselin, Wisconsin, and you got to go all the way to Marquette, you're looking at probably $300-400 transport one way and $300 or $400 back. I mean, there's $800 that a very small, rural county has difficult to afford. Menominee County, sort of the same thing. I mean, it's 50 miles to Iron Mountain. It's 200 miles to Marquette. So, it sort of has become sort of a regional, sort of a hub. I mean, if you include the 50 autopsies I do for Dickinson County, and probably the other 25, 30 I do for everybody else, you're looking at 50, 60, autopsies a year. And like I said, it's turned into a huge convenience for them. I mean, as far as, money spent transporting bodies and time and all of these things. So, I mean, I understand that Dickinson County Hospital wants to get out of the autopsy business. I appreciate that. But, it is bigger than just Dickinson County. It really is. I mean, this, like I said, it's turned into something very regional.
Okay, any comments from the hospital?
This agreement was written for the benefit of Dickinson County.
Is the board ready to act?
Are we gonna change that DOA to decedent? That's the only thing I have. Those two errors.
Actually, the same thing repeats on the next one.
So we have to change.
Spell check got it wrong both times.
Okay. So we'll fix that. I'll vote, I'm ready to vote.
A motion be in order to accept or deny.
I would move that we accept, make a motion to accept the morgue, autopsy room, and the diagnostic testing agreement.
Between Dickinson County and
Dickinson County.
Is there support? Support. Support. Any further discussion by the board? Seeing none, roll call please.
Gagner.
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes?
Erlac.
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
And Wozniak.
Motion's carried. Okay, we are back to citizen time. Any citizen want to address the board at this time?
Dale Ellis.
I mean, I guess, you know, you look back at this thing, you keep cutting all the services, it's still not gonna happen. And I'm not sure that you guys are still a nonprofit hospital anymore, being that the county took the land over the hospital. So I don't know if that gets back on the taxes or not anymore now. We're looking into that right now. Because I don't think you guys are a nonprofit anymore. Being that the county doesn't own you guys or have control over the board anymore, so to speak. There's some things that are looking into. But, you know, you're taking away the autopsy area that made you money. And I agree with Joe. You're looking for revenue, but you're cutting services. You know, I'm sure you were making some money with these services. You weren't losing money. I could be wrong, Dave. I mean, I know, I seen it in your head.
We're not going to
So,
debate it.
he's not thinking, Henry. You know, so you should probably look at this a little closer. Keep cutting services. I mean, we don't have a kids, what do they call it?
Pediatrician.
Pediatrician. We don't even have that here anymore. You know, so you keep cutting everything, pretty soon that hospital's gonna go to hell. And it's kind of like on its way. So I think you guys should start rethinking that. I'm glad that they kind of changed the board a little bit at one time. Some of you guys are still on the board that shouldn't be on the board, as far as I'm concerned. Because you were from the old regime yet, should have started over with new people. So think about changing this thing, and I think this agreement, it's okay, but it would make you money.
Okay, anyone else?
Thanks, real quick, Scott Rutter, the sheriff. I just want to say thank you and appreciate everybody getting together and from the law enforcement aspect of it. It's like I said, when the decision was made, I think there was a lot more that impacted our end and was detrimental to us and what we do and how we conduct business. And the protocols and policies we gotta follow. I'd love to see a long-term goal, keep it the way it is, but I understand business decisions. But I just want to tell all of you, thank you very much in getting with the board and alleviate some of the pressure off of us for the time being. But I'd love to see us continue the relationship that we had before and make it a long-term. It's just not only how easy it is and to do everything where we do it as, but just down to the security and moving of a body and just all the things we really don't want to deal with. So when we have to start shuffling and going to different places, it does become obviously a little problematic with us. But from the law enforcement, and I do want to say thank you and appreciate us working out something for now and maybe hopefully have some more discussions and figure something out maybe long term. That's my hope for it. So, but again, I want to appreciate, I tell you I appreciate everything and from the other chiefs and that were involved with it. So like I said, I'm glad we could get together and at least work out something today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sheriff. Anyone else stand and state your name for the record?
Kay Carlson from Iron Mountain. I would like to have the DCH website updated currently as of today, for example, with the names of each of the trustees. That is not available on the website. And I'd also like to have the physicians list updated as of today. This has been asked for in the past.
Okay, anyone else stand and state your name, please?
My name is Mike Tice. I'm a deputy coroner in Florence County. Our coroner is here also.
Can't hear you, Jerry. Speak up.
Deputy coroner for Florence County. I just want to kind of understand what the agreement is. It sounds like we would not be able to use those services either, well, when you come up with a permanent solution. Because there is a pretty substantial cost to transport a body to a different facility like Fond du Lac or Madison for us, as the doctor stated. But also, if it's suspicious, we have a chain of custody, so we also have to send the sheriff's deputy. So that's a substantial burden on our small county, and I don't know if your solution helps us.
As
Call you?
Call.
Okay.
What's your name, please?
Mike Tice.
Any other comments?
formula, could you just give us a short version of what the agreement is? We have no idea what the agreement even is.
I guess I said there'd be no discussion back and forth, but trying to make it very short.
Well, actually, if you wanna see the agreement, I have copies of the agreement, we're gonna do, Pull the document.
Okay, you provide a copy. Okay, any other comments?
You gonna bring this up at your next meeting in a week or so, I assume, vote on it?
Maybe you're gonna vote tonight.
No, not going to.
What's that?
This has been just kind of an unofficial agreement that we're in favor of. And so if you want a formal vote, we can wait up and do it on the next
You know,
week.
you got Chuck's signature, gotta be on it, so soon you gotta have a vote.
Okay, any other comments from the audience? Any other comments? Seeing none, a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Moved by Barb. Support John.